Now this is definitely a little bit different because this is pork Osso Buco. Now we're obviously used to veal Osso Buco, and all I've done is I've pre-ordered, and please pre-order from your butcher because he won't just happen to have some pork shanks hanging around, or he might have. And then I just got my mates to cut the shanks into the same thickness as they would Osso Buco. So see, like that. I've left the skin on, and all I'm doing is sealing them. So I'm flouring them and putting them in some olive oil. I'm also going to season them. There's about, I think I asked for 1.2 kilos, and because he's such a generous beaver, he gave me 1.5 kilos. And I'm not going to waste them, am I? And do season them quite well as you're sealing them. I've got about 4 or 5 Granny Smiths that I have cored and cut into pieces. There's also 1.5 large onions, 1 large carrot, a couple of stalks of celery, and a couple of clump cloves of garlic sliced. And then we just put all those veggies in there, and we're just going to saute these, or the veggies and the apples I should say. Quite a few, because there's quite a bit of pork there, and you do need, like I've got here, a nice heavy bottom pot. Now what I add to this is some butter, good knob of butter. That just adds a bit of extra flavour. If you don't want to, just use oil. I like the butter in it, I just think it adds, as I said, at the risk of repeating myself, a little bit of extra flavour. So we're just going to saute that, and then I'm going to add a little bit of flour to that. A couple of good tablespoons as a thickening agent, and then we will come back. Now always remember when you've done that flour is that you scrape any of the bits and pieces from the bottom, and that's just all the caramelized juices, and that adds extra flavour. Now what I do is I add 3 or 4 cups of chicken stock. So we'll start off with 3 cups, which is 750 ml. Add more if need be. I'm also going to add, because you know we're doing pork and apple here, so apple cider, 1 bottle, which I think if I remember rightly is 330 ml. Let's have a look. 345 ml, just to confuse me. And we're going to add that. We're also going to add, I know I've salted the pork itself, but you still need some extra salt, particularly if that chicken stock is low salt, which it is. And some pepper, quite a bit of pepper. And what I'm going to do is bring that back up to the boil, then I'm going to return that pork to there, turn it right down, and we're going to simmer it. And I talk to you about simmer, please don't boil the heck out of it, because all you'll do is toughen the pork. And I'm going to simmer it for about an hour and a half until it's very, very tender. Adding more stock and more cider if need be. A few leaves of sage. That's something that goes beautifully with pork. And then we return pork. All right guys, now all I do, put a lid on it and cook it very gently. So over on the back we go. 1 to 1.5 hours. Keep an eye on it. I actually don't think it's going to need any more liquid, but who knows? All right, guys, let's have a look at my pork. To serve with this, I'd have a nice green veggie of some sort of asparagus or green beans. Or let's just have a taste for seasoning. Oh, now see, that's lovely. The taste of the apple in there is just delightful. It looks like the food of Alsace. Now, Alsace. Well, there is a reason I'm talking about Alsace, because I'm serving a wine from Alsace. Alsace has been many times the part of Germany, and it has been part of France. So they speak French with a German accent, and they eat food like this, which is sort of got Germanic feel, nice and robust and things. But even though this is robust, this still is light enough to eat in the summer, because it is actually lightened up with those beautiful apples. If I've got any parsley to chop, just to give it a bit of colour. Now guys, I had this wonderful idea that because it is pork with apples, and as I said, it sort of has the feels of Alsace, I thought I would get an Alsatian Pinot Gris. And I went to my local bottle store, and I went to another bottle store, and I thought, now everyone in the world must be cooking pork tonight, because there was no Pinot Gris from Alsace. So I have bought a Pinot Blanc, which I also like very much, and which will go perfectly with this, because the Pinots from Alsace, they have a sort of an appley, peary flavour to them. I didn't just make that up, it's true, I promise you. Anyway, that is a beautiful dish. That really, 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 really is. I love that, and it's light and it's delicate, and the apples, and the cider and the Pinot Blanc. But you can have Pinot Gris if you like, but the Pinot Blanc goes with it rather well. Cheers.